You're watching Talking Points, a focus on the political scene in Lubbock and across the South Plains.
Welcome back. Here's a look at some of the political headlines of the past week. The gavel dropped on a new session in Austin on Tuesday for a year in which Texas is projected to have more money on hand than ever before. Lawmakers with a record $33 billion budget surplus, and there are plenty of ideas for how to spend it. The comptroller's forecast shows the state will have about $188 billion available to spend through 2025. It's more than 26% higher than the last 2 years. And the Texas House had its first fight over the rules that will govern this legislative session. Some of the most conservative members trying and failing to ban Democrats from chairing committees. While the House did pass harsher punishments for quorum breakers in response to Democrats' walkout, you'll remember that last session. And the Public Utility Commission of Texas went over its proposal this week to redesign the state's electric grid. In 2021, lawmakers ordered the PUC to develop a plan to improve how electricity is bought and sold in Texas. The PUC's proposal would require both public and private power utilities to purchase credits, generators that would get a credit from Texas for supplying electricity when power reserves are lowest. It's supposed to make the grid more reliable, but some critics say the proposal will be costly for consumers. Well, we're back talking more about the future now. We've talked about the past. It was a really good past year to talk about. But January is a time to talk about the future, I feel like. We make resolutions and we make goals. So maybe we start with education. There's a lot of future wrapped up in that.
There is. We continue to invest in our workforce through our education programs. This last year, actually, South Plains College opened up a new academic center in downtown, and that's bringing 1,700 students to our downtown area, helping to revitalize our downtown, but also providing a natural talent pipeline for our companies to hire these graduates with their associate degrees, and also to provide a direct path to Texas Tech University and LCU and others, because we know that so many of our junior college graduates are very, very successful at the collegiate level as they move into that four-year program. We've also been investing in our area high school career and technical education programs, because we know that not every company needs someone with a four-year degree. Many of them need people that can do plumbing and electrical work and HVAC work and things of that nature. And so we continue to invest in those programs, welding programs, automotive programs at our high school level, so that we continue to get that natural talent pipeline. And that's becoming very evident to companies that are considering Lubbock, that this next year they see all of those investments really being positive for them. And that's one reason why we continue to have a tremendous load of active prospects looking at some incredible projects that would be really great for Lubbock to have.
Yeah, that's a great segue. A motivated workforce is different from a skilled workforce, and we just happen to have both here in Lubbock.
That's right.
So maybe we talk about who wants to come, or you don't have to say names, because I know that's not what we're here to do, is divulge secrets. But what kinds of things are we looking at? I mean, that's a big deal.
I've been in economic development for over 20 years now, and I've never seen as many large projects as what we are currently actively working, or as many truly active projects considering Lubbock. It's really an exciting time. And at the same time, we still have a lot of work to do. And so it's trying to make sure that we have the resources available for those companies, that from a long-term perspective, that they're going to be beneficial to be in our community. But what we are really seeing is some growth of some of our existing industries that are adding new jobs, putting new investment on the tax rolls. We're seeing some new companies coming to town. We're seeing new industries that we've never seen before, and also the expansion of some existing industries that we've had for years, but we've not necessarily had this particular kind of component part to the local industry. So it's very exciting to see everything that's going on. We know we're not going to win every single deal, but we are very hopeful that we can bring a lot of these projects to fruition, some even the next few months.
Yeah, I mean, you walk into a deal knowing it might not happen, but there's hope there, and especially for a place like West Texas, there is so much here that's not other places.
That's right. There's 600 miles between the Dallas-Fort Worth area and Albuquerque, and so Lubbock is very much kind of the center of West Texas. There's one reason why we have that hub and spoke design of our highways. And so we have a tremendous amount of traction of workforce coming here to get their education because of the great quality of life that we have, because the assets that the City Council has invested in over the last decade in our community to make us a better community. It's attracting these future generations that now actually outpace the boomers in terms of total participation in the labor force. Gen Y, Gen Z, they are wanting to remain here, and we're seeing that, and that's a really, really good thing. In fact, the growth of our labor force has been very much equal to the growth of our jobs over the last few years, and that's really good to see.
Yeah, that's really hopeful. There is someone out there who wants to work. That's a
That's
really
right.
good thing.
Yes.
Really good news. Well, I guess I will leave you with a wish list or a Christmas list. I mean, I know that, we've talked a little bit about legislators are recognizing West Texas, recognizing Lubbock. What else do you need? Are you hoping things happen in this session?
Well, from a kind of a physical standpoint, I very much hope that our Texas legislators see value in investing in the Ports to Plains corridor and investing dollars into rapidly developing that corridor and making that bringing that all up to interstate standard. But at the same time, I'm very hopeful that our community recognizes that even though there's a lot of dialogue related to inflation and supply chain issues and just challenges with the national scene, that Lubbock is a little bit insulated from that, and that there's still a lot of opportunities here in our community to see growth of our community in a very positive manner.
Yeah, like a good happy bubble out here in West Texas.
Yeah, it's not really. I don't want to say that it's a bubble because it's not. I don't feel like it's going to pop. This is not.
Yeah.
This is not that kind of challenge that maybe Round Rock or Georgetown might have seen back in the day, or
Sure.
even parts of Dallas area. What we are seeing is good, solid growth. It's
Yeah.
just faster than what we've traditionally seen, but it's not inappropriate for all the other factors that are coming into our community. It's
Yeah.
actually really, really positive.
So maybe more of a cloud than a bubble.
That's right. It's just good, solid growth, and
Yeah.
it's just happening at a faster pace than we're used to. But it's not happening so fast that we're outpacing how the growth of the community is taking place.
Yeah, which means the future's bright.
That's right. Very
Yeah.
much so.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today, and I'm excited to see what 2023 brings.
Yes, I think you're going to see a lot of announcements this next year, and I really appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a look at what our local lawmakers have already been up to. We're not even a week into this session, but it turns out the work starts long before the gavel drops. Some of these even filed as early as November. So take a look at this. House Rep for District 83, Dustin Burrows, has filed one bill so far, and it would create a grant for law enforcement to request financial help from the state, paying for their department's accreditation. Carl Tepper, a freshman representative for District 84, has filed 7 bills so far, most notably bills that would limit how much your property taxes can go up year to year, and some First Amendment protection bills. State Senator for District 28, Charles Perry, has filed 25 bills so far, some of them jointly with other senators. Some highlights: a few bills concerning gender on a birth certificate and when it comes to transgender rights and children. Also, a bill that would expand broadband, that's something that he has talked about a lot, and regulate the price of broadband and the regulation of hemp products in their production and sale. Well, the Attorney General names a special counsel to oversee the Justice Department's Biden documents probe, just as more documents are found in a separate location from those discovered in November. Stay tuned.